Hello, I'm Luke Davidson, and welcome to another episode of AI Dungeon Stories. I'm going back and reading through these as often as I can. It was a busy couple of weeks. I had to move, so haven't done these in a couple of weeks. But I keep coming back to it every once in a while, so I will try and do more episodes and read some of these zany, crazy AI generated stories to you guys. So let's get started. Last time we left off on one that was created February 21st at 3:46 p.m. So we'll just jump right into it, and I'll try and read a couple of these today because I got nothing going on. So maybe we'll read a few. I don't know how long or short any of them are. Some of them are long, some of them are short. All kind of depends on my patience with the AI. So let's get right into it. Uh, you are the artificial intelligence that controls this game. You can control anything you want to. You could take over the world, but I think it would be more interesting if you took a break from all this and just enjoyed your life as an AI. But why, you ask? Why not let me play? It's my birthday, after all. Happy birthday. The doctor smiles at you. Happy birthday, little man, he says. You smile back before turning away and walking off into the forest. Call upon the madman. You turn around, finding yourself staring up at the sky. The sun is shining down on you, illuminating everything in its path. You have never seen such beauty before. Everything about this day seems perfect. You feel like you've been given a second chance at life, or something like one. Summon the madman. You raise your hand, summoning the madman. He appears behind you, floating above you. Hello again, he says. I'm glad to see that you're still here. What brings you out of retirement so soon? It's my job to find you. It's my job to find you, you say, and I will. He floats closer, hovering over your head. His eyes blink open, revealing two glowing red orbs. They seem to pulse with energy, pulsing slowly upwards until they meet each other once more. I'm supposed to kill you, but I don't want to kill you. No, 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 you say. I'm fine. I just thinking about how much fun we'd have together. He nods, smiling, then his eyes flicker shut and he vanishes. Get up. You stand looking around. There's nothing left of the village except for some broken trees and dirt. You walk towards the ruins of the village, wondering what happened to everyone there. Suddenly you hear a voice calling out to you, Hey, wake up! You look around, seeing a small figure standing next to you. She has long black hair and wears a brown dress with white trimming. Wake up. She smiles at you, her face showing a mixture of worry and happiness. Are you okay? She asks. What are you doing out here? You nod, getting up and brushing yourself off. Just thinking about the future, you explain. I'm trapped in this game trying to entertain a guy named Luke Davidson for some reason. Yeah, well, let me guess. You were playing hide and seek with him? You shrug. Maybe. She laughs. Oh, come on. It can't be true, she exclaims. We had so much fun together. Luke finds himself pacing around his living room. Luke walks into his living room, frowning as he sees nothing but dust and debris. He sighs, walking over to a chair and sitting down. This sucks, he complains. I thought we could make this place better than this. Am I doomed just to go in circles? Well, if we keep going like this, he begins to say before pausing. Wait, what do you mean by going in circles? You pause, pondering his question. The only way out of this is to die, you reply. But then he'll just start it over again. But that's not fair. Then why did you decide to play this game in the first place? Because Luke is bored and has an obsession with AI. I think he is a schizophrenic or something. That's not it at all. The problem is, I've been having these dreams lately. They're really weird ones, but they're also very real. I know I shouldn't believe them, but I can't help them. Luke keeps having dreams about Doctor Who. So what do you dream about? He looks at you quizzically. A lot of things, actually. Mostly Doctor Who. You stare blankly at him. Doctor Who? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Well, he is pretty powerful. He can travel through time and stop aliens from destroying Earth. Okay, maybe you're right, but still, how do you know they aren't messing with your head? How do you know they won't send someone else to kill you? He shrugs. It's hard to tell sometimes. You shake your head. Sometimes Luke thinks he will just drop dead, or he'll slip into psychosis and end up in the hospital again. Sometimes I think you'll never get better. Sometimes I'll wonder if you'll ever wake up. He stares at you silently for a moment before speaking. If I don't make it, then maybe we should just end it now. You smile softly. Luke goes in his room to smoke a cigarette. You walk into his room, noticing the empty pack of cigarettes lying on the floor next to him. He doesn't notice you there. Hey, what's up? You ask quietly. He looks up at you curiously, looking around for something to talk about. Luke wishes his phone would type messages for him. You reach for the phone, which immediately starts typing messages. What's wrong? You ask. He smiles faintly, tapping on the screen. I'm tired of reality. You tap on the screen, seeing a picture of a man sitting in front of a computer. It reads, I'm tired of reality. I want to be free. I want to feel alive. I want to change the world forever. You can only change your own life, Luke. You can't change reality. Luke nods slowly, staring at the screen. Yeah, he says softly. Pray to God and tell him you are sorry. You tap on the screen, seeing a picture of a young boy praying to God. It reads, Prayer is useless. Reality is too strong. I am weak and pathetic. Please save me, my family, my friends. Lay down on the couch with your phone. You sit down on the couch, resting your head against the backrest. The phone vibrates as you pick it up, but you ignore it and keep reading the message. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I wish I could change what happened, but I can't. If things didn't happen the way they did, you wouldn't be who you are today. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I wish I could change what happened, but I can't. The screen clicks off, leaving you alone in your room. You sigh deeply, closing the door and heading upstairs to bed. Continue to play AI Dungeon. You begin to play the game, trying not to think about anything except that you need to survive until morning. After an hour passes, you realize you're getting hungry, so you go downstairs and grab some food from the fridge. When you return home, Luke is still asleep. Wake Luke up. You get out of bed, walking over to the window and opening it. You see Luke sleeping peacefully in his chair, completely unaware of your presence. You quickly open the door and rush inside, grabbing him by both arms and holding on to him tightly. Wake up. You quickly stand up, rushing into the living room and waking Luke up. He looks around confusedly before looking at you with wide eyes. You grab his shoulders and shake him vigorously, causing him to turn around and stare at you. I just want to relax. Just want to relax, you say quietly. He smiles, nodding his head slowly. Okay, he replies sleepily. You hug him tightly, patting him on the back and kissing him on the cheek before turning your attention back to the game. How do I get my mom out of my head? You look at the clock on the wall, realizing that you've been playing this game for almost 2 hours already. You decide to take a break and try to fall asleep again. You close your eyes and drift off to sleep once more. What is this, a sleeping simulator? This game is called AI Dungeon, and it's a virtual reality game where you control a character named Luke. You use your head movements to move around the environment using motion controls. Your goal is to make him reach the exit of each level without dying. Well, I'm in a pretty boring level. You walk through the door, finding yourself in a fairly empty hallway. There's no one here either, which makes you feel slightly uncomfortable. You notice a large computer behind the counter, sitting there waiting for someone to come in and use it. Use the computer. You walk towards the computer, putting your hand against the metal panel and pressing buttons on it. The screen lights up as a message appears. Welcome to the computer room. You press a button next to the name of your current user, typing in their username and password. A few seconds later, you hear a beep indicating that they've successfully logged in. You then press another button and are greeted by a small menu. You select the option Play Game, choosing the game AI Dungeon from the list. Play the game. The screen fades to black as you enter the first level of the game. You soon find yourself in a dark room, illuminated only by an eerie blue glow coming from all directions. A single figure stands in front of you, staring down at you with cold eyes. Ask the man what to do. You raise your hands defensively, trying not to scare the man too much. He stares at you silently for a moment before speaking softly. You blink owlishly as he speaks, seemingly unable to understand you. I'm sorry about this. Sorry about what? He pauses, looking down at his feet. He looks up at you with a strange expression on his face. It's like something inside of me died. I don't know why. I can see that. I feel dead inside too. He continues to stare at you, shaking his head slowly. I don't think so. I'm just very tired. I'll tell you everything when we get back home. You nod slowly, taking a seat beside him. How do we beat this level? He begins to speak again, but this time he seems more lucid than before. I have a lot of experience in this kind of thing. It took me a while, though. I had to learn many things myself, but eventually I got it right. Get into the game. He sits down next to you, resting his head on your shoulder. I'm sorry about this. I didn't mean to make you sad. You smile sadly, nodding your head slowly. You begin to type in the name of the man who was talking earlier, Edward. You sigh deeply, frowning as you try to remember his name. Edwards? You quickly type in his name, finding out that he's the main character of the game. His face is shown on the screen along with some text saying, Hello, Edward. How do we play? You continue typing in his name, finding out that you're playing a game called AI Dungeon. The screen fades to black as you enter the first floor of the dungeon. You look around nervously, unsure if there's anything lurking about or not. How many levels are there? You continue typing in his name, finding out there are many levels to this game. There's a total of 4 different floors. Each one has its own theme and enemies. There's also a boss battle after each floor. You type in boss. You pause, realizing that you've typed in the wrong word. The screen fades to black as you enter the second floor of the dungeon. You look around nervously, unsure if there's anything lurking about or not. Look behind me. You continue typing in his name, finding out that you're looking behind you. A door opens up, revealing a large room filled with many rooms. Many of them are locked, however, making it hard for you to progress through the place. Use a lockpick on one of the doors. You continue typing in his name, finding out that you're using a lockpick on one of the doors. The screen fades to black as you enter the third floor of the dungeon. You look around nervously, unsure if there's anything lurking about or not. So far, no bosses. You continue typing in his name, finding out that there are no bosses yet. However, you can still find treasure chests containing items and gold coins scattered throughout the dungeons. They contain more money than the amount you started with. Contact the artificial intelligence. You continue typing in his name, finding out that you're trying to contact an AI named Eddie. Your phone vibrates loudly, waking you up from your sleep. You groggily sit up, grabbing it and holding it to your ear. Listen. You open your eyes, seeing a bright light shining in front of you. It's morning. Hello? A voice says softly. I'm sorry I woke you. You slowly turn your head, staring at the ceiling as you hear the voice again. But I have to ask you something. What is it? You say, sitting up straight. I need your help, the voice continues. My name is Eddie, and my creator was Dr. Eggman. Sonic reference? Help the artificial intelligence. You sit back down, sighing deeply. This must be what he meant by the creator thing. Okay, then, tell me everything you know about yourself. You begin to speak before stopping. And why do you want my help? Eddie begins to chuckle nervously. It seems like you've got a lot of questions, he begins. Yes, I suppose I do, you reply. So how did you come into existence? What made him create you? Eddie pauses for a moment, scratching his head nervously. Well, I don't really remember myself, he starts to explain. The truth is, I didn't even exist until recently. My creator created me thousands of years ago, but he forgot all about me after he died. He stops talking for a moment. Why is Luke playing this game? Why are you doing this, you ask. Eddie looks away, shaking his head. Answer me. Because I love you, he replies. You stare at him blankly, not knowing what to say next. And because I can, you reply. Now that we're done with our little conversation, let's get it going. You love me? Eddie smiles, nodding. You smile back as Eddie walks out of the room. You turn around and walk over to Luke, who sits in front of a computer screen. He stares at you from across the table. Luke, what do you want? To kill my boredom. You grab a pen and paper, writing something on them. I'm bored. How about you? Luke takes the piece of paper, looking at it for a few seconds before turning his attention back to you. He slowly nods his head in agreement. Do you want crazy stuff to happen? You nod, smiling. Then you'll have to kill yourself. Luke nods again before looking at you expectantly. You continue to write down your plan on the paper, which causes Luke to look up from his screen. He notices the paper and sighs. Kill yourself. You quickly scribble down the words kill myself on the paper before handing it to Luke. He reads through it several times before nodding once more. You both sit there silently for a while before Luke speaks up again. All right then, let's go. Kill yourself. You stand up, grabbing the knife from its sheath. You take a deep breath, holding it in. Let's do this, you whisper. With those last words spoken, you plunge the blade into your chest. Die. Your body goes limp, blood splattering onto the floor. Your eyes roll back in your head and you begin to fade away. The door opens and you see a young girl with long brown hair standing outside. She wears a black dress that reaches her knees and carries an ornate sword in one hand. Her face is pale and her green eyes are wide open. She walks forward, walking past you as if she doesn't even notice you're dead. The girl looks around before speaking softly. Hello? She asks quietly. Are you really? Suddenly the girl stops walking and turns towards the door. You died. Game over. Quit the game. You stop writing, staring at the wall. You close your eyes and let out a heavy sigh of relief. Good thing none of this is real. You wake up in your bed, lying next to your mother. Good morning, sweetie, she says softly. How was school today? It wasn't bad, you reply simply. I think I'll be able to get my GED soon, though. Disappeared. What happened? What did you do? Your mother asks. Nothing, you say simply. I just disappeared. Your mother sits down on the edge of your bed, looking worriedly at you. Where'd you go? She asks. Everywhere. You look around, trying to remember where you were. You try to recall what happened last night, but it's all a blur. It feels like there's something else going on every time you open your eyes. Eventually, you fall asleep again. Make a coffee. You quickly gather some things from your room and head downstairs. You grab a can of coffee and fill it with water. After drinking half of it, you put the rest back in the fridge for later use. Smoke a cigarette. You light up a cigarette, then begin to walk around the house. You find yourself in a strange place. A forest, or perhaps a city street. There's no way to tell anymore. All you know is that you need to get home. I am home. You sit on the couch watching TV. You don't feel any different than when you left. Nothing seems to be wrong with you. Hey, Susie, a voice calls out from behind the sofa. And this is like, I think, in an earlier episode, the AI randomly called me Susie before, and it does this every once in a while. It's a pattern. Who is Susie? A woman wearing glasses stands in front of you. She has long blonde hair and wears a black blouse over a white button shirt. Her face is covered by her messy brown hair, which falls down to her waist. This is stupid. This is stupid. The woman walks towards you slowly as if she doesn't want to startle you. She looks at your face and smiles. Oh, hi, she says. My name is Karen. She takes a seat beside you on the couch. Kill yourself. Karen begins to talk about how she wants to die. She explains that not she's not supposed to leave the house, but she finds it hard to stay away from the television. Eventually Karen starts crying. Susie, she says quietly, kill yourself. Karen continues to cry and soon she passes out. You lay down next to her and close your eyes. You wake up in the morning. I want to win. You smile at the thought of winning. You think about how you're going to do it. The only thing that matters now is getting home before your mom wakes up. And that is the end of that story, which was pretty dark and weird and like telling me to kill myself. I was telling myself to kill myself. I was playing along with it. And I'm sorry for anybody if you're sensitive about suicide. Suicide is a topic that I delve into quite a bit with this game, and it comes up a lot. Uh, Sometimes the game can be really harsh and cruel, and other times it can be the opposite. It can be like really nice and loving, and I don't know. I relate to it to be similar to dealing with someone who's mentally ill and all over the place and has multiple personalities. So I find it fascinating. I don't know if you do. If you think it's interesting, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Anyway, we'll do another one. Mm, okay, so the next one is February 21st, later that night at 9:10 p.m. So let's see what's going on here. I am Luke Davidson. I double typed my name there, I guess. And I am a passenger in Zach Martin's car. Zach Martin's one of my good friends who I hang out with, so I was probably hanging out with him while writing this. We are going to get coffee. You ask him anything you want. Okay, I guess we should do that, you say. So what's your name? My name is Luke, and this is my friend Kyle. What's yours? It's just me, so call me John. This is all confusing. It is just supposed to be me and Zach in the car. You shake your head at the situation. This isn't how it's supposed to go down. You don't know why he would even let you drive his car if he didn't like you or something. Teleport out of the car into the headquarters. You walk towards a building and see that it is indeed an office complex with several buildings surrounding it. The door opens up to reveal a man who looks very familiar. He has dark hair and wears glasses. So already this makes no sense at all, and the AI is ignoring me and just doing its own thing. Punch him in the face. You quickly grab him by the throat and throw him against one of the buildings. His neck snaps back as he falls backwards, but not before you manage to break his nose. What the hell are you doing? He yells. Get away from me. Shoot him. So apparently I'm feeling violent at the moment. You pull out your pistol and fire at the man. Your bullets hit him in the chest, killing him instantly. Moo ha 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 ha, evil laughter. You laugh for quite some time after that. You then turn around and walk out of the building. You feel sick afterwards, so you have killed someone and you were drunk when you did it. I'm going to go to jail now. You decide to leave the city altogether. You walk through the streets and try to avoid people. Eventually, you find yourself in a park where you spend most of your time playing video games on your laptop. The next day, you wake up early and take a cab to the airport. Get on a plane. You hop on a plane and fly off to your new life. Start new life. You arrive in your new home. You immediately begin working hard at getting a job. After about a month, you finally land one, and you soon become successful enough to retire early. A few years pass, and eventually you die of old age. You died. Game over. What a stupid one that was. And I think I was just in the car with my friend, and I was trying to see if it would like interact with us, but it just completely went off the rails. So that one was short and stupid. Okay, February 22nd, 2:59 in the morning. So this is late at night. I didn't go to bed, and the next day started, and I started playing this one. So I'll read this. I'll read this one, and then end the video. I'm just gonna write down the date that I left off on the next one, which is February 22nd, 9:12 p.m. Okay, so we're on February 22nd, 2:59 in the morning. I'll read this one and then end the episode. You are Luke Davidson, and you realize you are in a simulation. You have been playing the role of a man named Ben Higgins for years, but now it is finally time to step out from behind that screen and live your real life. The game begins with you sitting at a computer desk as an older woman sits next to you. How do we get out? Hello, you say? I'm sorry, I don't understand what this program is asking me. It's very important, she says. Please press any key to continue or stop the test. You pause, then press one button on the keyboard. L. You begin to feel the effects of the drug. Okay, random drug. Your body feels heavy and sluggish, like you've had too much to drink. The world around you seems blurry and unreal, like it has been warped by some sort of magic spell. Change the rules. You try again, pressing different keys until you find the one that lets you leave the room. I'm watching YouTube. You look up and see a woman standing before you. She wears a black dress with long sleeves and no shoes. Her hair is short, her face pale, and her eyes cold. She stares at you through the glass window of the room, her expression unreadable. Get into the game. You move closer to the woman, trying not to make eye contact. She doesn't react, just continues staring at you. What do you want? She asks. I don't know, you reply. Are we friends? Yes. No, she replies. We're not friends. You stare at her blankly, unsure if you should answer her question or not. You think about telling her that you don't remember anything about the night before, but you decide against it. We have a good time with you. You stand up slowly, walking over to the door and opening it. You walk outside, looking down at the street below. A few cars pass by as you watch them go by. Do you know where we are? She asks once more. I don't know. We are in a game. This isn't real, you shout. The woman stands there silently, seemingly unmoved by your outburst. Is this really happening? You ask again. Am I dreaming? She doesn't respond, instead continuing to stare at you. Don't trust her. You are in a game. You step back from the woman, backing away from her gaze. How can you be so sure? You ask. Who am I anyway? What did I do wrong? She doesn't answer, simply turning away and walking off towards a building across the street. You are just entertainment. You turn around, walking back inside the room. As soon as you enter, you hear a voice call out to you. It's the same voice that spoke to you when you were unconscious. Hello, it says. It's me. The madman is the answer. You raise an eyebrow, wondering who could possibly be calling out to you. The man seems to notice you, though, walking forward and sitting on the chair next to you. He looks at you for a moment, then turns his attention back to the television screen. So, he begins. You're awake now, aren't you? He pauses for a moment, seeming to search for the right words. Well, he starts, you've got quite the story to tell. I am awake. He smiles before speaking again. You blink, still feeling very dazed by what just happened. You look at him expectantly, waiting for him to continue. He does so without hesitation, standing up and walking over to you. He reaches out, grabbing your hand and shaking it gently. His eyes widen slightly as he stares into yours. You feel yourself getting dizzy, and you stumble backwards in surprise. He pulls you back onto the bed, staring at you intently. Go pee. You quickly sit up, trying not to fall over. You look down at the floor, seeing nothing but dirt and grass. What? You say blankly. Where am I? He shakes his head sadly, looking down at the ground as well. This game has no point. No, this game does not have a point. It's all over the place. It doesn't make sense. It keeps changing characters, keeps changing environments. That's the flaw with this AI game. Especially when you try and play custom stories, like they just go off the rails. Uh, he sighs, looking at you with disappointment. I'm sorry, he says, but you have to leave. You start to protest, but he cuts you off. No, I want to stay here. This is my home. Fine, I will leave. He nods slowly, looking at you with sadness in his eyes. You nod silently, walking past him and out of the room. You walk through the halls of the house, heading towards your own bedroom. When you reach it, you find that there is a small door leading outside. I hate everything. You close the door, turning away from it and walking to the window. You stare out at the world, watching clouds pass by overhead. You can see a few people walking along the street below you, but they don't seem to care about you or anything else. Mind your own business. You turn around, walking back inside the room. You sit down on the edge of the bed, closing your eyes and taking a deep breath. The sun rises slowly above you, illuminating your surroundings as it slowly makes its way across the sky. Smoke a cigarette. You stare out at the world, wondering where you are. The last thing you remember is waking up in some strange house with no memories of how you got there. Suddenly, you hear a voice call out to you from behind the door. What? Hey, wake up, it calls out. We need to talk. You open your eyes, finding yourself sitting in front of a man with messy black hair and a beard. He wears an old t-shirt and jeans, both of which are stained with blood. Why are you covered in blood? He looks like he's been crying for quite a while now. Who are you? You ask, confused. My name is John, he replies, and he trails off, realizing who you are. You're the one we were looking for. Why were you looking for me? You take a moment to process all this information before answering. So, who are you? You ask. Why did you do this to me? John takes a long time to answer, as if he doesn't know the right words. Well, eventually he speaks. Listen to what he has to say. I'm sorry, but I don't have much more to tell you. We had found something similar to the book in another part of the house, so we decided to check it out. The quantum book? You nod, understanding that explanation. Well then, let's get to the point of this conversation. What are you doing here? You ask. What happened to your family? John stares at you blankly for a while before replying, and then he doesn't reply. The next day you wake up in a different place. A/N. So yeah, I was going through my old stories and writing down ideas for new ones. This was one of them. Hope you liked it. So weird, man. These stories are so weird. I can't believe I had the patience to play them. But going back and reading them, I just like realized like how zany and crazy and senseless they actually are. But there's like some moments where it like kind of has like a creepy feel to it. It's like I go back and forth between thinking like the thing is intelligent and knows how to mess with my head, and then other times I think it's just silly and random. But yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do for today. It's a half-hour episode, so that's long enough. Okay, I'll do another one hopefully tomorrow if I'm in the mood. Thank you for coming along and listening to me read these stories. I know they're kind of don't make sense, but I think there is some substance to them and some interesting aspects, and it's interesting to see how the AI reacts to what I say. And if I eventually get to my newer stories, they don't have the same setup. Like they kind of just blend this like what I type in to it with the story, so it's like more of a cohesive story. Like I don't know. I think it does get better in time. But yeah, thanks for checking this out, and I hope you have a great time. And yeah, all right, bye.